YAHUAH Shalamah. Love and peacefulness to anyone out there watching this video. I would like to say, Toda, thank you very much for taking out your time to see what I'm talking about. And with that said, I would like to speak about what the creator of all things, YAHUAH, had laid upon me as I rested. And I think it's very important that you continue to listen. Please, I ask you. But anyway, as I rested, this man I know, he was sitting on top of a grate, like in a city street, an iron grate. And as he sat there, the grate began to shake like it was gonna fall. And it did fall. And when it fell, he fell with it. And sparks went up, like red sparks. So after that, it switched. And I wind up looking to the left, like looking upward as well. And I could see like a gate. And behind that gate, like a fence, it was wild hogs, like wild boars, or razorbacks, pigs. And they were chewing, they were gnawing, like they were trying to get through the gate. They wanted to get through. And as I looked in my line of sight, I could see like I noticed like maggots, maybe 3 or 4, 3 to 6, something, not many, but I noticed them. And when I noticed them, I didn't pay a great deal of attention, but I noticed them. So I finally took heed, like, man, I need to get away from these hogs. They trying to get at something. So I got away from them and I went around the corner. And I noticed there were 3 pathways, like 3 tunnels. And they were made out of red brick. And the tunnels were dark and it looked creepy. So I was like, I ain't going down through there. So as I stood there, I heard something saying, head, 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 head. I was like, man. So I went back around the corner where the hogs were, and they were still there. And they were still trying to get through that fence. And they was going at it like they needed to get through. And so at that time, I had really, kind of zoomed in on them, paying attention, like, man, them some big hogs. So as I looked, I said, man, I got to get away from these dudes. So I went back around the corner and I looked down, at the 3 tunnels. And I was like, nah, I ain't going down either one of those. So I said, in my mind, I was like, I'm just going to stand here. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going back around the corner where them hogs at. And I ain't going down none of them pathways. So that was my mind state. I'm going to stand here. So all of a sudden, as I looked, a big hog kind of turned the corner like, I was like, he spent the bend. I was like, man. So I raised up my fist like I was finna hit him. I was getting ready. So after that, it switched. And the guy that was being, that fell down, that was sitting on top of the iron grate, he was being dragged up a hill, upward, laying on his back. He was going up a slope. Like if you logging or something, and you got a chain on the end of a log. He was being dragged up that. And I'm like looking at him like, man, he being dragged up a hill. So after that, I came through and I thought about it. I was like, wow, that's a jacked up situation. So of course, I reached out to the man. I contacted him. I told him about it or whatnot. And I sincerely pray this man repents and comes into the truth and walk in the light, the Torah, the commandments of YAHUAH. And, change his life, man, because that's going to be his punishment. And looking at the situation, the maggots that I seen in my line of sight were on me. They were on me. My body was full of maggots. And that was going to be his destination. That's going to be his destination. And his eternal condemnation. That's going to be his torment. before he go in the lake of fire. Because everybody got to get in the lake of fire. That's going to be his place. His own little place. No rest. Being chased by hogs and drug up a hill full of maggots. And the man, I've talked to him a few times because I have to deal with him. And, he's still in the world or whatnot. So he still talk like he want to talk, as we all did. We talked how we want to talk, So anyway, and he spoke on his liking of, pleasure. That's why the voice kept saying head, because he spoke to me about that on several occasions. He spoke on that. So I know that's a lusty man destination, and his torment. That's gonna be his torment. And I want to bring that forth to anyone who's considering changing their life and living a righteous lifestyle, not according to your own understanding or what you feel to be right, but according to what the book tells us to do, the scripture. And with that, I would like to thank my brother YAHUAH for bringing forth a scripture. He said you need to read the Apocalypse of Copper or the Apocalypse of Peter. So I finally did. I was kind of slowful. I got to stop being slowful. But I finally read it. And I want to start at verse 20. Total. This is some heavy stuff. Verse 25. Apocalypse of Peter. And it reads, and near that place I saw another straight place, into which the gore and the filth of those who were being punished ran. Forgive me. Let me start at 20. I was correct the first time. It says, and over against that place I saw another squalid, and it was the place of punishment, and those who were punished there, and the punishing angels, messengers, had their raiment dark like the air of the place. And there were certain there hanging by the tongue. And these were the blasphemers of the way of righteousness. And under them lay fire, burning and punishing them. And there was a great lake full of flaming mire, in which was certain men that pervert righteousness, and tormenting messengers afflicted them. And there were also others, women, hanging by their hair over the mire that bubbled up. And these were they who adorned themselves for adultery. And the men who mingled with them in the defilement of adultery were hanging by the feet and their heads in that mire. And I said, I did not believe that I should come into this place. And I saw the murderers and those who conspired with them cast into a certain strait place, full of evil snakes, and smitten by those beasts, and thus turning to and fro in that punishment, and worms, as it were clouds of darkness, afflicted them. And the Napash, the souls of the murdered, stood and looked upon the punishment of those murderers, and said, O YAHUAH, your judgment is just. You right. And near that place I saw another straight place, into which the gore and the filth of those who were being punished ran down, and became there as it were a lake. And there sat women having the gore up to their necks, and over against them sat many children who were born to them out of due time, crying. And there came forth from them sparks of fire, and smote the women in the eyes. And these were the accursed who conceived and caused abortion, And other men and women were burning up to the middle and were cast into a dark place and were beaten by evil spirits. And their inwards were eaten by restless worms. And these were they who persecuted the righteous and delivered them up. And near those there were again women and men gnawing their own lips and being punished and receiving a red hot iron in their eyes. And these were they who blasphemed and slandered the way of righteousness. And over against these again, other men and women gnawing their tongues and having flaming fire in their mouths. And these were the false witnesses. And in a certain other place, there were pebbles sharper than swords on any spit, red hot, and women and men entailed, and filthy raiment rolled about on them in punishment. And these were the rich, who trusted in their riches and had no pity for orphans and widows and despised the commandments of YAHUAH. And other men and women were being hurled down from a great cliff and reached the bottom, and again were driven by those who were set over them to climb up upon the cliff, and thence were hurled down again, and had no rest from this punishment. And these were they who defiled their bodies, acting as women. And the women who were with them were those who lay with one another as a man with a woman. And alongside of that cliff there was a place full of much fire, and there stood men who with their own hands had made for themselves carven images instead of YAHUAH. And alongside of these were other men and women having rods and striking each other and never ceasing from this such punishment. And others again near them, women and men burning and turning themselves and roasting. And these were they that leaving the way of YAHUAH. That's the apocalypse of Kappa or Peter. I was going to bring forth some more scriptures, but I think I'm going to stop right there. And I just want to say, man, this is some serious stuff, and we need to consider our ways and consider our own righteousness. He's not going to play. It's going to be torment. I saw this man's ending, and he was being chased by wild hogs and being dropped in charcoal and being dragged up a hill. That's bad. That's very bad. No chicken wings, no pizza, no fresh vegetables, no fresh fruit, no cold drink, a body full of maggots, being chased by giant hogs. I just read the apocalypse of Kappa or Peter. Thank you to anyone that tuned in, and I appreciate your time. Barak YAHUAH Kal Tahalim YAHUAH Yahushua Shal Yashra Al Mashpaka. Have a great day.